Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the HBRa3 class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you would like, you can go back and pause the video to try and get a good look at the class, look at all the perks, look at all the attachments, maybe try to replicate it for yourselves. But keep in mind, I will of course be talking about the perk setups and the attachments and things like that throughout this video, right? That's what we do here on DNA Saturday. What's going on here? Well, first and foremost, it was sent in by a guy that goes by the name of Time Slows Down. He has sent us in a game of Uplink here on the map site 244 using the HBRa3, and we actually pick up the DNA bomb while using Super Serum. Actually, we use Super Serum a couple times. If you don't know, that's a secret map-based hidden kill streak for this map. So we actually uses 2 of them in this, and as a result, ends up getting a pretty good gameplay using the HBR. And hopefully, you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy that. But yes, playing Uplink, man, that's one thing I've always disliked about DLC in Call of Duty is most of the time when they release a DLC, you have to play in certain playlists to be able to play on your brand on the new maps that you want to play, right? So for example, I like to play Domination. It's my favorite game mode in Call of Duty. I like playing it the most, right? And if I want to play Domination, I have to go play the Objective Mosh Pit on the Ascendance maps, and because of that, I'm going to be playing other game modes like Hardpoint and then Uplink and things, just game modes I'm not really too fond of as compared to Domination. So it's like, I just wish I could just play Domination on the new maps. I think a lot of people would like to just be able to play Domination on the new maps, but if you want to do that, you basically have to go play the Objective Mosh Pit, which is going to give you a bunch of game modes like this. But I don't know, I guess it's kind of a nice strategy from the perspective of the developer, because if they just give us a Mosh Pit, therefore you have to try out these other game modes, then maybe as a result you decide, hey, I kind of like this new game mode, let's actually start playing that a little bit more. And maybe they're trying to get people to try out different game modes by basically forcing people to play in the Mosh Pit, who knows. But right there we actually pick up the first Super Serum. Keep in mind, we will not be touching our Super Serums until the second half when we have 2 of them, and oh man, that thing's so ridiculous. So what is the Super Serum? You guys may be wondering. I don't know too much about it, to be perfectly honest. You can't really find too much information about it online aside from YouTube videos. Sadly, there's no actual written sources as to what this thing could do or exactly breaks down what Super Serum does. But from the information I've gathered on it, apparently it is going to increase your health, not by too much, but it's going to increase your health, as well as it's basically going to give you basically wall hacks in a way. Like, you know how you can see people when they're painted up on the UAV, you can see them through walls. Like, you have that basically infinitely, and it takes away your mini-map. So basically, you always have people lining up red through walls and such, but you don't have a mini-map, and you have more health. That's the most I really learned about the Super Serum, but yes, it ends up working out pretty well for him, this gameplay. You guys will be checking that out. He also has a couple issues and instances throughout this gameplay where he's like, I just don't have any ammo, so he has to play ridiculously cautiously like this. He is using scavengers, so he does try and find some ammo, but he has to run around and wait for somebody to kill somebody to be able to find more ammo, and he ends up picking up Attack 19 there, and it's just sometimes gets funny. But the first half here, I'll admit, is kind of slow, so what we're going to do is we're going to start talking about the HBRa class now, and then we'll be talking about the second half once we get to it. So let's hop into here. What are we using with this class? What's making this class so good? So the HBRa3 Raider is a pretty good variant of the HBRa3. It's not ridiculous, but it's pretty good. What it's going to do is give you +1 to fire rate and +1 to mobility. Now keep in mind, the fire rate is key for the HBR. If you want your HBR to be good, you're going to want to try and increase the fire rate on one way or another, because it's got already really good damage. It's already very accurate. It's already just very powerful in general, but it's got a slow fire rate. That's like the balancing factor, and right there we get the second Super Serum. So if you want to make your HBR ridiculous, get any kind of variant that increases the fire rate and you'll be good. So we're increasing mobility by 1, we're increasing our fire rate by 1, and all we're losing is a little bit of our magazine size. We only have a 26 round maximum magazine, as well as we lose 1 in accuracy. So the give and take there is actually pretty good. The biggest thing you're losing, honestly, is probably going to be the fact that your magazine is going to be a little bit smaller, but then again, HBR hits like a truck down range, so you don't exactly need that giant magazine. Like, I think in a perfect world with the HBR, you use something like a foregrip, you use something like a quick draw and a red dot sight. You don't even really need extended mag. So let's start talking here about the attachments. What we got here, we have a red dot sight to give ourselves a foregrip. Me personally, I really enjoy quick draw, but as you can see, he's actually still getting challenges and whatnot throughout this gameplay, so maybe he doesn't have the quick draw grip unlocked. He's actually using 5 perks. He's using low profile perk 1, standard, right? Perk 2, he's got blind eye, pretty standard perk, but he's also got Cold-Blooded. I never see people using Cold-Blooded. That's definitely original. And for perk 3, we're using Scavenger as well as Blast Suppressor, man. I don't understand it. I'll never understand the people that don't use Toughness, man. I would just not understand it. Like, Toughness, Blast Suppressor, I really try to have on almost every single class, especially an Assault Rifle, right? One that you're shooting down range. It's like the equivalent of using, like, Hardened Pro or, like, Focus back in the day. You know, it's like, you need to use it, right? You just need to use it, but right here is kind of a clutch part of the gameplay. So his Super Serum starting to wear off here. He actually is going to call in that, and then he's going to call in his other Super Serum again, and that's going to give him a little bit more health, which is actually going to allow him to actually get the kill on that guy right there, which I thought was pretty clutch, just because if he didn't call in the Super Serum at that exact moment, he probably would have died to that guy. Now he's just going to continue on his kill streak, and keep in mind, he doesn't have a mini-map, but he can see everybody through the walls, which can still at the exact same time kind of mess with you, I suppose, and if you're trying to like learn where they're spawning or, you know, see what areas they're at. Not being able to have a mini-map at all would kind of throw people like me off, definitely, but he seems to do okay regardless without it, and he's actually going to shoot that guy and pick up the DNA bomb right there, ladies and gentlemen. So I thought that was a pretty good overall DNA bomb gameplay. Running around the HBRa3, one of my favorite guns in the game, but though admittedly one that I haven't been using a ton of lately. It's one of those guns where it's like, I want to use that gun more. Same thing with last week. We said I would start using the SN6 a little bit more, trying to experiment with that gun a little bit more, and I did do that. Ended up getting like an 80 kill gameplay as a result, which I was definitely very happy about. So HBR is also up there, though. Just one of the really good guns in the game. I think the reason why, admittedly, I stopped using the HBR as much as I used to was just kind of the meta game of Advanced Warfare, where the Ball 27 was taking over initially. You just couldn't compete with the HBR versus the Ball 27 because of that fire rate. But now that less people are using the Ball 27, more people are using the ASM1, I feel as though the HBR is kind of coming into its own a little bit more, and it's probably going to be a lot more viable than it was, say, 2 or 3 months ago. But there we go, the final score, 51 kills and 1 death. Pretty nice overall gameplay, man. 50 to 1 KD, that's pretty good if you ask me. So thank you to Mr. Time Slows Down for presenting this gameplay. Hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel it deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, watch the video. It's on your screen right now. There's an annotation you can click, as well as a link to it in the video description. Go over to that video, check it out. It'll tell you everything you need to know about submitting your stuff for DNA Saturday. Seriously, it'll tell you everything. Just be sure to go ahead and check that video out. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out Mr. Time Slows Down, you can find him over at youtube.com/TheRealCODJunkie. So he's a returning guest here at my channel, like I said, but it's weird. You go over there, he hasn't uploaded a video in 2 months. It's been 2 months, but he has a lot of great gameplay on his channel. In the message that he sent me, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, in the message that he sent me, linking me to his DNA Saturday, giving me the timestamps and all that stuff, he said that he wanted to try to be the first person on DNA Saturday to post on the new Ascendance maps. You know, I thought that was kind of a cool thing he wanted to do. And he also mentioned that he had DNA bombs on other Ascendance maps, 2 other ones, in fact. And I was like, then why aren't you uploading any of this to your channel? You haven't uploaded in 2 months. I don't understand it. But this is a guy that's got some crazy good gameplay on his channel. He has a bunch of great gameplay that he's not posting for whatever reason, so go over there, go to his latest video, start posting your gameplays up, because I definitely enjoy watching them, you know, that kind of idea. So go over there, check him out, and let him know you guys want him to start posting up some more of these DNA bombs, because they're on Ascendance maps, right? It's on the brand new maps. That's half the reason I wanted to post up this DNA bomb, was the fact it was on a new Ascendance map, because very rarely, when people submit their stuff for DNA Saturday, is it actually on a DLC map. You know, I think it's cool to see great gameplay on DLC maps, so, you know, he has some DNA bombs of it. Let's see if we can get him to post them up here on his channel. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.